Your turn.
Okay, Honk. This is my last email. Hi, Honkies. This is kind of scary to write out, but I've been reading that Jeanette McCurdy book. So fucking good.
Yeah.
Y'all, go read it or listen to it if you haven't. It's incredible. But I've been reading that Jeanette McCurdy book, so this feels appropriate. For a big chunk of my life, I've had intrusive thought-type fantasies about killing my mom. For context, she's a narcissist who I'm certain has never had an empathetic thought about someone else's lived experience and abused me physically, emotionally, arguably sexually, my entire life growing up with her. Like big blow-ups that made me frightened for my life, and emotional trauma that makes me on the edge about anyone's opinion of me. Lots of damage. Lately, when I'm with her, I'll start fantasizing about driving into an intersection where I know her side of the car would get smashed in on an accident. We were walking by a cliff, and I thought about pushing her off. When I was a teen, I used to go into the kitchen while recovering from a fight and just hold the biggest kitchen knife and look at it.
Wow.
I know I'll never act on this because I love my life now, aside from her. But woo, it's in my brain and it feels dark and twisted. Thanks for reading, and even if it doesn't make it on the show, I feel relief saying that out loud. Love the show and been loving Patreon for a while as well. I made my sticker into a fridge magnet, and it has made a lot of people laugh. Bye.
That's funny.
Bye, honey. Thank you so much for subscribing to Patreon.
That's a juicy dark thought.
That's a very juicy dark thought. I'm so happy you wrote that in. That takes a lot of bravery.
It does.
And because it's also, I feel like with these dark thoughts, there can be like a lot of like shame.
Totally.
Kind of like, oh, fuck, like, what am I capable of? I know. I was like.
I think that's, and I got a few messages that were like, too afraid to write in my dark thoughts. I'll just see what other people say. Because, like, it's.
Yeah, someone like wrote that on the Instagram. But I mean, that Jeanette McCurdy book is.
So good.
You know, she named it like, I'm glad my mom's dead, or I'm glad my mother died.
Yep, I'm glad my mom died.
And, you know, she was getting some heat for that title, but. When you read the book,
it's her book.
It's her fucking book. And also, you know, fuck you. But, you know, you read the book and you really understand that title. And especially, and like, you know, obviously you didn't give us all the deeds. You don't have to, but just from reading your brief explanation, I think that it's a trauma response is what you're having.
It totally is a trauma response. I would guess.
Can I say a dark thought right now? Okay. So remember when you and I were watching, please help me, what the Munchausen by proxy.
Gypsy Rose?
Yes. When we were watching Gypsy Rose. And this, okay, so if you guys are familiar, Gypsy Rose was this girl whose mom, you know, Munchausen by proxied her.
And they said that in I'm glad my mom died, that it was giving Munchausen by proxy.
Oh, it totally was. Totally. But you know, her mom her mom disfigured her, and she tried to get away like a few times, and then she ended up like she like told like the neighbors, she tried to call the police, she tried like a few different, you know, things, and then wasn't able to get away, and then she eventually like enlists like her little like online boyfriend, and they kill her mother together. Now obviously that's like gruesome and disgusting, and my mom and I got into an argument over this because my mom was like, how, like, that woman deserves to be locked up forever for what she did to her mom. Now this is where my dark thought is. I think it's a gray area. I think she tried to get away. I think her mom was poisoning her and disfiguring her. Like she was treating her daughter like a fucking Frankenstein project up in this bitch.
She was.
And she murdered her and got out.
And also she like kept her so
sheltered
small that how would her daughter know how to do anything else except for just be like afraid and be like, I need to get away from this, and she needs to go.
Yeah. And okay, so my brother and I were recently talking about this, and he's like, obviously you should never physically, you know, hurt someone. He's like, but can you really blame that person if you push them to the emotional breaking point?
So fucking much.
You can only take so fucking much.
Jesus.
And this bitch, Miss Gypsy Rose was shitting in a bag. She's fucking, half her teeth are gone. She has fucking tubes coming out of her.
She thinks that she has fucking cancer. She thinks she's retarded. She thinks she can't walk.
Yes. She thinks all these, she talks like this. And I'm like, it's giving
Didn't she have fat tits though?
Oh, she had demi-fat tits. Yeah.
She had fat tits.
Yeah. Her mom couldn't keep those down.
No, she couldn't. Gypsy Rose.
It was given milky.
We see those fucking knockers.
And now I see why that mom wanted to keep her inside all day long looking at those bad boys.
She also thought that she was like 3 or 4 years younger.
Yes. That's another thing. And then she was like speaking at like disabled conferences. Yeah, it was this whole thing. So like, yeah, she killed her mom, and now I'm like, you know, obviously objectively murder's wrong, but when you're literally being a prisoner and defiled,
Rose, It's okay. I think
Yeah.
we can murder then.
I'm pretty sure we can murder.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
go
then
with
Lee, you
it's okay,
cut
murder.
that up and then it haunts me.
I'm pretty sure we can murder.
then you're gonna put that on
I'm
YouTube,
pretty
and then
sure.
You're gonna put that on YouTube, and then everybody's gonna come in the comments, and it's gonna be only on your face, but somehow they're gonna say, "What's wrong with that girl's lips?"
Hey, can you cut back to Gabby's face? What the fuck is
Did she
that?
get fucking stung? What the fuck is wrong with